Hello, Bobbits. Well, what a wonderful song. What a wonderful song to start it off on. You know, we got to the meat of the beat. That sounds a little suggestive, but we got to the meat of the beat. It does sound gross. Anyway, what's up? Hello again. Hi. I said we'd be back in a few hours, and gosh darn it, here we are. I mean, we can just pick up right where we left off. I mean, we were mostly just chilling. And if we pick up where we left off in the chilling category, then we're going to be chilling even more. I think that's like double chill. If my math is correct. There's something to be said about chilling twice in one day. All right? And I've chilled at least 3 times today. All right? If I could get any more chill, I would. I just don't think it's a possibility. I just don't think it's at all possible that we could get any more chill than we have been relatively all day long. It's been raining outside, you know? It's been a slow day work-wise, it's been a slow week work-wise. But other than that, we've been keeping those spirits high, and so I think we're chilling. Crazy, right? You know? Hey, sometimes people, they end up chilling. And if you can chill, then you're chill. Anywho, I'm Goose. If you've never been here before, hello, welcome. I don't normally stream at night. This is kind of an alien concept to me. I am typically only about an hour off of bedtime for this old man. But you know, it is a basically a free weekend. You know, we're hanging out, we're doing some chilling, and you know, I guess there's really not much more to be said. How are you doing? How are you doing today? Hello, hi, and hello, and good evening. Did your work day go as planned? Did you get your projects? Did you get your projects finished? Did you do all the stuff that you needed to do? Did you tuck the kids in? Did you play the board games or whatever, you know, normal people do with their families? Did you read all the current event news stories? Good. Well, what we're doing tonight is we're going to be looking at some cooking TikTok videos, and we're going to be asking ourselves if the videos we're seeing are rage bait. I know some of them will be, because I know a pretty good percentage of a lot of the engagement farming that goes on TikTok is surrounds rage bait in all of its wonderful forms. Tonight, however, we'll be taking a look specifically at cooking TikToks. And We're gonna let this old hat chef tell ya. Is it rage bait? Or does it look pretty tasty? Feel free to throw your opinions into the hat as well. And we'll see what we come up with. Maybe we'll be able to form a consensus and see, you know, whether or not any of these recipes look like particular rage bait. I'm gonna say half of them will probably be rage bait. That's gonna be my guess. But we shall see. I'm still finding some to look at. So bear with me here for a second. I typed, you know, I did do a search on YouTube for what would look like rage bait recipes on here, but a lot of these seem to be a bit more like earnest good faith kind of stuff, you know, rather than actual, you know, oh, this was a viral recipe that I found on something or another. I don't know. Oh man, my KBPS is real low again. It has been raining all day, and so the atmospheric interference is definitely happening. My apologies if it lags for you for just a bit. It will balance out, I do assure you, but just bear with it for the time being.
Here's how to make an extra special take on classic.
Hang on, let me adjust the volume on this. Do not want the music to be that loud. Oh, didn't want to mute it either. There we go. All right.
Fritos pie by starting with a generous layer of rich cheese sauce over cooked meat, followed by...
So it's just a large Frito pie.
Here's how to make it.
Now, typically, if this were me, I would be making the Frito pies in the bags, because that's where the novelty of a Frito pie lies, is by making it in the bag. So, where do you get off? TikTok recipe, where do you get off recommending this? How dare you?
An extra special take on classic Fritos pie by starting with a generous layer of rich cheese sauce over cooked meat.
Now that beef just looks so sad. Just so sad. Why does it look so sad? Mummy, why does that ground beef look so sad? Oh, so very sad. I wish it did not look so sad.
Followed by finely diced red onions for a fresh, mild kick. Next, I add pinto beans, though you can swap in refried or black beans depending on your preference. And mix in.
Now please do not just go adding a bunch of random shit to a pan. Like, do something to it. You know, like there's plenty of stuff here. There's plenty of stuff that you can do that's gonna make that stuff taste good. You know, I mean, even just like adding a little bit of salt, you know, maybe some salsa, you know, but like, you know, cooking each thing individually, making it, you know, really good on its own is typically the way to go with that kind of stuff. Yeah. Gross.
Mild diced green chilies to keep the spice family friendly. After combining these colorful ingredients and soaking in the amazing aromas, I top everything with a rustic cut Mexican blend cheese, then bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes until the cheese is melted and bubbly.
I mean, by the end of this, you're gonna have mushy chips. Like, that's all you're gonna have is just a big mush at the bottom of the tin. Like, those chips are not going to be crispy anymore. They have just been covered with a metric ton of bullshit. I don't see that happening. Wow, this YouTube stream is just super shitty right now, isn't it? My God. We're looking at 0 kbps for my stream integrity. 0. Normally it's not 0. Normally it's at least something. This is only buffering. Oh yeah, now my stream's offline. Sweet. Yep, not receiving any data from the server. That's great. That's wonderful. I love when that happens. I'm not doing anything as far as like, you know, bandwidth strangulation would be concerned. It is honestly just the service in my area, you know. Oh my god, I told it to remember me. Yeah. I told it to remember me. And now my Face ID isn't working. You gotta love it, right? And boop, boop, boop. I just want to see if the Twitch stream is suffering as much as the other one. Yep, nope, Twitch stream looks fine. I do not know why YouTube always has like this weird hiccup. I don't know. And it's always like when it's raining in my general geographic area. Obviously, you know, atmospheric, like electromagnetic shit can mess with your, like, signal, I guess, but it's like clockwork. No, I didn't mean to click on that.
Here's how to make an extra 30 minutes until the cheese is melted and bubbly. To finish, I sprinkle fresh cilantro chopped with my handy scissors for a burst of bright flavor. This hearty dish packs protein, fiber, and bold Texan flavors.
Do not try to present this as a fucking health dish. Like that is just the saddest fucking thing that I've ever heard. Trying to make it sound like it's a healthy dish? Oh, this dish has protein and fiber and a bunch of Texan flavors. 4 out of 5 doctors recommend it.
Making it a perfect, crowd-pleasing family meal that's full of delicious layers. What would you rate it from 1 to 10? Here's how to make an extra special.
If you're going to make a Frito boat lasagna type thing, you really just want to put the chips on top, like after it's done. Like you don't want, like you want them crispy. The Fritos are not supposed to be cooked. That makes them, you know, really bad. That makes them not tasty. And you typically want these things to be tasty. I just wish it would be tasty. You know? You don't have to do this, guys.
How to make a cold mango.
I don't feel like this is going to be rage bait, but I'm probably going to get angry anyway. I have a feeling. I have a feeling I'm going to get angry regardless. First, I mean, don't put your ground beef in with your with your onion. I know that's a common mistake. I know that's very, very normal for people to want to try to get everything into the pan at once and try and save some time and cut some corners. But think about it this way: the corners you cut are proportional to how lower in quality your dish is going to be. Sometimes there are like easier ways to cut corners, and there's a little bit better like life hacks to use in terms of the kitchen. But overall, you want to try and treat each ingredient with its respective respects. With respect, you want to teach ingredients with respect. You don't want to go like flipping a whole chicken in a pan, you know, like if you're on like I actually saw somebody do this once on the line. Our sous chef had a whole chicken in a pan, and then he flipped it like a fucking pancake. And yes, oil got everywhere, and the chef was necessarily concerned. It's like, don't do that. I was like, well, that guy's not gonna be sous chef very much longer.
Willie ask me why.
Now, I have absolutely done that before, but don't do that. It's gross. Don't put paper towels in, like, the thing just to soak up some grease. Like, it's okay. You can take the stuff out of the pan and then put it back in. You're not saving yourself that much time.
I sound like this with a 6-string growl in a hand.
But you could also just get leaner beef. A lot of that liquid, though, is not... that liquid sometimes is just hemoglobin. It's really not fat. Like, you can keep most of the liquid in your burger when you're browning it. Like, the great thing about heat is that it helps reduce liquids. And because there's such a high water content in a lot of the stuff that we cook, including minced meats... wait, hang on. It's the evening. So my main audience isn't going to be the UK. So I don't have to speak in UK-isms. I kind of forget that. But, like, you don't have to take all that liquid out. Some of that contains flavor, and you might want to just, like, reduce it a little bit. If anything, I would add a different type of fat and maybe some dairy to the pan, like a little pat of butter. Ooh! Just kind of like shore everything up, you know? Just kind of make it a little bit more silky and smooth and sensual, if you will.
Hammer fist twist. Why I talk back when I should behave. Why I show up loud like I'm digging a grave. I say, son, I ain't here for your rules or...
Now, tomato sauce is kind of one of those things where I don't think that I can really get on board with anyone trying to make an excuse like they can't make tomato sauce at home. It is really one of the easiest things that you can make. And these Rouse tomato sauce jars are like $13 at my local Safeway. Like they are insanely high priced for the amount of materials and the amount of time and effort that it takes to make a fucking tomato sauce. Especially in the summer when tomatoes are actually really good. You can just like grate a couple fresh tomatoes and like, you know, put some herbs and spices in there and call it a day and you've got a great tomato sauce. Nowadays, or not nowadays, but like in the winter/spring, you may have to do something a little bit different, like maybe zhuzh it up a little bit, use some basil, which starts growing like, you know, in April, May. You could have like some, you know, spring vegetables in there, like spring herbs and stuff, lots of bay, lots of lilies, like, you know, onions and shallots and things like that, lots of garlic. But don't buy tomato sauce. This had to have cost, that fucking jar of marinara had to have cost at least $10. At least $10. Like, and I think that they're earnestly thinking that this is a good tomato sauce because Rouse is not bad. Like, I've had it before. It's not terrible tomato sauce. It's just not worth making when you can very easily just make tomato sauce at home. And I know, like, the biggest argument that I've ever heard against making homemade recipes or against making stuff at home, like even just in general making stuff at home, was, oh, but I don't have time. Like, I've got kids and I've got a job and all that. And yeah, I get that too. But when I say that there are some recipes that are made to be specialized for people who live busy lives, like, I really mean it. Like, they will take less than 30 minutes. A good tomato sauce, 10 minutes. If you've got a blender, it's even way less time. The only thing that you really have to heat for a good tomato sauce is the oil that contains whatever aromatics you're trying to infuse into the tomatoes. When you think about it like that it's just modular, you're mixing two things together, it becomes way easier. You get some tomatoes, you pulverize some tomatoes. It's nice and like zhuzhy, and like it's able to be spooned on something, and then you infuse oil with some really good flavors like garlic and rosemary and thyme and all this kind of stuff, and then you incorporate the oil into the tomato sauce. Bada bing, bada boom. You got tomato sauce. What's up, GB Hoover? How's it going? I made my own sauce for sweet sage, rosemary, thyme, basil, all equal parts olive oil, garlic, mushrooms, hamburger. Man, honestly, and just making your own sauce feels so much better. Like it's like food therapy. It's like it makes you feel like you have more pride in this thing. You take more ownership over the thing that you're creating, and your family likes it better too because you know what? You put love into it. So yeah, just don't go out and buy a tomato sauce. It's just so much easier to make it. Not easier to make it. It is more convenient to go buy it, but it's so much more worth it to make your own. No matter how you make it. Like, there is no one recipe that like everyone needs to follow for tomato sauce, you know?
Permission.
I make it, put it in the fridge, an entertainer too. It's got so much, it's got major flavor. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
I was raised up proud.
Fuck
on
yeah!
ignition.
Sorry, it's the whatever this video is bringing out the Southern in me, even though they say Texan. Like, you know, Texas, people don't really consider Texas the South, but Texans definitely consider themselves the South.
'Cause I was born to raise hell. It's in my bones.
Also, it makes me feel like they're angling for a Kinder's, I mean, they're obviously putting all these brand names front and center in the camera, which is like, this is a bit of a phenomenon that I don't know if the casual viewer is aware of this, but a lot of the times some of these TikToks will have like affiliate links for the things that they have in their videos, and so they'll put the brand names there so that way people will like, oh gosh, what was that mustard they were using? Grey Poupon. Oh hey, I'm looking at their account already. I can just click their fucking affiliate link and give them a couple of cents on the dollar for it. So it's just really funny when it looks like, because they say the brand name of the Kinder, the dry rub, and well, there's a cowboy butter too. Like, I'm pretty sure that they're angling for a Kinder sponsorship, it seems like. And say they don't say Grey Poupon Dijon mustard. They just say 1 tablespoon or 1 teaspoon Dijon mustard. See, so yeah, they were saying other brand names specifically.
Crank is skinnered loud on a rotary phone. My daddy drank whiskey, my granddad did too. So don't be surprised when I howl like a fool. I don't sit in silence, I don't play.
Don't whisk inside of a non-stick pan. Like, I know that a lot of these, so that's like one of those hex-clad pans. But no matter how much a pan says that it's, oh, you know, it's anodized or it's all inside of the metal itself, like it'll never flake, it'll never deform or anything like that, it does. It always does. There's always some kind of like metallic byproduct that gets into the shit, and you don't want that in your food. So definitely do not ever whisk things in a coated pan. Of course, I use olive oil, but I make a huge part of it and then freeze it for later, which is really easy. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Batching shit out. Fuck yeah. And cooking is just, it's so therapeutic and wholesome, and it just makes you feel good. Gosh damn it. Hang on, let me see my dog next to
It's a family tradition.
No, she good, she good. I think she's just confused because her mama is not here. I mean, this seems like a lot of dairy. A lot of dairy. I mean, I'm liking the fact that there's like a pink sauce going on here, but we got milk, we got butter, we got cheese, we got pasta. Just make like a little bechamel, I think. Seems like. Although it's not a bad meat sauce, but man, 2 more cups of shredded mozzarella. This person's family is like probably very beefy, probably working in fields, you know, like I hope so. Yeah, that just seems like a lot. I don't think this was rage bait, but some aspects, I think that the putting a paper towel into the ground beef probably would have made me angry if I'd seen like one of my employees doing it, but I've done that shit at home. You know, it's not that weird. It's weird. It's not that weird. It's
This chef teaches us how to...
No chef would be teaching you how to do anything with that. Instantly, I know it's rage bait. I can just tell. I can just fucking tell. There's no way this isn't rage bait. You would not ever want to put a Philadelphia cheese container into a simmering bath of water. Unless you're just trying to soften it, I guess. But even then, maybe just fucking wait for a second. Or, I mean, this shit's really, really soft as it is. Just the Philadelphia that comes in the tube, super, super soft. Almost immediately spreadable. But if you just take a little butter knife and you stick it in there and whip it around a little bit, you got whipped cream cheese. Super, super easy. I mean, you can just do it like fresh from the fridge. But I'd
prepare this
I'm dreading what this might be.
awesome cream cheese snack that's super tasty and easy to make. First, melt 300 grams of
That is not how you would melt anything, let alone cream cheese. Not in its plastic fucking container. Don't we have so many microplastics in our balls these days? Like, how the fuck are we ever gonna be, like, increasing our goddamn numbers with all the people, you know, as the right would put it, with all the people that are becoming trans and gay these days, our population's just gonna free fall. All right? So, I don't know how we're gonna deal with all the fucking microplastics in our balls, with all the people turning gay and all the frogs turning gay, just like Alex Jones was saying. I just don't get it. You know? Don't we want to prosper as a human race? You know, don't we want to, like, not have microplastics in our balls? Shit.
cream cheese in a pan over boiling water. Once smooth, set it aside.
Goddamn Alex Jones.
Pan, boil 300 milliliters of water with a bit of salt. Then add...
No. Nobody uses metric. Don't tell people to use metric. Nobody uses that. Use freedom units. How dare you? TikTok is... This is an American TikTok viewer, okay? Don't you fucking dare use the metric system.
Boil 300 milliliters of water with a bit of salt. Then add the
Why
melted
does the
cheese.
salt look like that?
Once smooth, set it aside. In another pan, boil 300 milliliters of water with a...
Why is the salt pink? Or, like, it looks like sand. There's no way this isn't rage bait. And, like, I've seen some, like, really, like, obvious rage bait that has, like, been very, very obvious in its rage baitery. But, like, I don't know. I feel like they're very specifically... It's like a double meta layer of rage bait. It's like everyone's gonna know these days if you're trying to rage bait on TikTok. So you have to make it like multi-level rage baiting. You gotta make it like, okay, so I'm gonna make this recipe, but I'm gonna do one thing slightly unsanitary. I'm gonna do one thing slightly wrong, but then I've gotta like wrap all that in another layer. So I've gotta like make you think that I'm gonna do something wrong, but then I do something kinda right, but then I do another thing that's wrong, you know? And then they kind of try and like pile these like different things onto like one after another, and it becomes like a multi-level troll. But is it really rage bait at that point? I don't know.
bit of salt. Then add the melted
Why
cheese.
is the
and
salt sand? Why does it look like sand? And why did you put the cream cheese directly from the plastic container? Like that you just had this in simmering water. Couldn't you just take the fucking cream cheese out of the container and put it into some simmering water? This would have been the same amount of effort.
mix. Stir in 250 grams of flour to form a soft dough. Add a
What is the point? This cream cheese snack is going to be delicious for whenever you're hungry. And now I'm baking?
splash of oil, mix again, and let it cool. While it cools, mix 200 grams grated mozzarella, 100
What? This was a snack! This was supposed to be just a snack! This quick cream cheese snack is going to have them all coming back for seconds. And now we've made a dough, and now we've freshly shredded cheese. That's not like machine freshly, or that's not machine shredded with like fucking the calcite shit powdered on it. That's certainly not. And did we shred some ham too? I think he's about to say fucking ham.
grams grated ham,
God damn it!
200 grams creamy rye,
What the fuck is creamy rye? Oh, what? What?
chopped parsley, grams creamy rye,
What is creamy rye? I cooked professionally for a very long time, and I don't think I've ever heard of creamy rye. What the fuck? It's just bread machine. That's the only thing I see on here. What the fuck is creamy rye?
100 grams grated ham, 200 grams creamy rye, chopped parsley, salt, and pepper in a bowl. Hit a thumbs up if you're enjoying the recipe so far.
I'm
now,
not!
Divide the
I'm not, and there are no thumbs up on this. This is not a thumb up thing. This is not a thumbs up situation. You hit it, there's a heart symbol. What's creamy rye? Please.
dough into 8 balls. Roll each one out. Add 2 spoons of filling. Close and trim the edges. Heat some oil and fry the balls until golden brown. That's it.
Now we're deep frying! We heated Philadelphia in a tub until it softened. Then we discarded the water that we could have just put cream cheese in water. No, what we did was we heated water, put cream cheese container in water so cream cheese gets soft. Change out water, put new water in, let the softened cream cheese into the water when we could have just taken the cream cheese and put into the water, and then we put some sand-looking salt in there, and then a bunch of flour. And then we made a dough. We fucking made a dough for some reason. For this snack. This cream cheese snack that we're making. And then we took some shredded mozzarella and some fucking ham, and we made a goddamn filling using some fucking creamy rye, which doesn't exist. And like a bunch of different shit, like just a couple of different things. Okay, maybe not a bunch of different shit, but that's like a filling. And then now we roll out this dough, and now we've made a fucking empanadas and we're deep frying them. For a snack. For a quick and easy snack.
Crispy outside, cheesy inside. Perfect for sharing with family or friends. Give it a try and enjoy. If you watch this recipe to the
Hey,
end,
it's so quick
comment
and
recipe,
easy, I might as well, right?
and I'll send it to you. This chef teaches us how to prepare this awesome cream cheese snack that's super tasty and easy to make. First, melt 300 grams.
Super tasty and easy to make. Yeah, it sure looks like it. It sure is. Thank you so much for this recipe. I'm super not pissed about it. So the question is this rage bait? Yeah, this one was. Very much so. I have a feeling this one's going to be as well.
Alright, that was 6 of my beef patties in my 13 by 9. And today I have such a fun recipe for you. I'm gonna take some French onion Campbell's soup.
Oh, he's making like a Salisbury steak sort of thing. See, you don't get to be where I am in the skill of cooking without knowing a thing or two about old Betty Crocker. Now that old bitch, may she rest in peace, was a pro at making very cheap, very easy to make recipes. Coming out of war times, the great US of A, really needed an outlet for all the surplus like foodstuffs and machinery and commercial equipment and all the kind of stuff that we use to manufacture food these days. But we really needed to find a way to get all that stuff sold because we had quite a big surplus. So a company got together and formed a fictional old lady, Miss Betty Crocker herself, who was a real actual lady, but was not really that good of a cook. They took her little hot dog in jello recipes and incorporated a bunch of shit for like Spam and the overabundance of beef, a shitload of like beef gravy and like beef processed, like the byproducts from beef that you normally get. So like pre-made gravies, pre-made lards and tallows and things like that. That's why Hawaii has so much fucking Spam these days. All of that came out of the overabundance and surplus materials that we had after World War II. And so we started making shit with like hot dogs in jello and like fucking fruit salad with pasta, you know, like we had to get rid of a bunch of shit. And so what he's doing, this is what I would call a desperation, or not a desperation, depression era type food thing that he's about to make. I bet you anything it's gonna be like one of these little like Salisbury steak sort of things, like super easy and simple. He might ruin it, but let's hope he doesn't.
Look at that onions in there. And I want to make sure I pour this all throughout. This is just going to make this burger one of the traditional dinners that I love. Now that we have that, I am going to move this
now,
to the
saying
side
traditional
and bring in a little
really does, it starts to hammer home. I'm pretty sure I guessed the right thing. Let's see.
measuring cup. I lied, that was a big measuring cup. And I'm going to take some au jus gravy.
Okay, I don't know why you're doing that. You already had French onion soup. I think it feels like what we're doing is we're making like, yeah, like a Salisbury steak sort of thing. Hang on, let me, I'm gonna turn the face cam off. I'm still here, but if you have never been to my stream before, I smoketh of the cannibas, and if you also smoketh of the cannibas, then please feel free to join. We will be counting down, and we'll just be doing it in just a second here. I'm gonna let the video play, and my face will be right back.
Oh, this is just like your typical dry
Cannibas.
just like so. Oh my goodness. And then I'm gonna take some heavy whipping cream because I still want it to retain its thickness. This is just gonna add some great flavors for this dinner. I don't want too much. I would say not even half a cup of that, as well as my favorite ingredient ever, sour cream. And
yeah, this is feeling kind of like a Mississippi pot roast, kind of like a goulash sort of thing. Like this was really big in the Midwest back in the Depression era sort of days, where things were, you know, kind of stretched and you needed to compensate for not being able to afford fancy cuts of beef, and so you would use mince. I mean, not really much else to be said about it. They're usually pretty good, these types of dishes, but I don't know what the sour cream is for. I think this might be like a modern update to those recipes, but we'll have to let them continue.
this is the good stuff. And I kind of want to use almost this whole entire thing. I'm going to take
All right, we're going in 3, 2, 1. Cheers. Smoke them if you got them.
This is just so easy to make for your family, for your friends, whoever's coming over. And then I'm just going to start whisking this all together. And you want to add the heavy whipping cream just so you can have almost like a sauce-like texture. And I think you guys can see it. I'm riding solo today. Justine's out running errands. She took the dogs for a walk. So we're just going to make sure that we do get this super beautifully. You want to make sure, see all that dry stuff on the bottom? You want to make sure that you get that completely out. And I'm just going to keep whisking this until it is ready, and it is looking pretty good. See how perfect texture that is? See that? Wow, this is going to be absolutely delicious. And now it's time to bring these burgers back in. Look at how beautiful that looks. And now I'm coming in with that sauce, and oh my gosh, this au jus sauce, I'm just gonna kind of put it right on top. Oh, that's so velvety smooth and delicious. And you can make as much sauce as you like here, but what I add next is really going to just make sure it tastes absolutely delicious. All right, let's save that sauce for a little bit later.
I mean, let's be completely fair and honest here. He really didn't have to add the French onion soup if he was gonna make this like gravy cream sort of thing. I mean, it looks good. It doesn't look bad. It just like you're you're doing way too much at once for very little payoff. He put like an au jus packet and then heavy cream into that sauce, but like he didn't heat it so that it would distribute the flavor of the au jus packet. I'm guessing he's gonna put all this in the oven. But like, there's no reason for all of this. You could do one or the other and it would be just fine.
I'm gonna come in here and kind of spread that sauce throughout all these burger patties. It's okay, there's gonna be a lot of liquid here, but that's kind of the whole play of this. So don't be afraid to get messy, because if you're not making a mess in the kitchen, you're not doing it right. And now I'm taking...
I mean, no chef worth their salt believes that. You should keep things clean for the sanitation and health of your guests. But also just because it's professional, because it's easier to get your thoughts organized when your space is clean. You should always be cleaning as you go, and you should periodically be stopping what you're doing and clearing down and cleaning everything. I literally clean as I'm cooking, so I don't know. Yep. Yep.
And some minced.
You do not want to have a messy kitchen. Messy kitchen means messy mind. That's like, I do the old, like, Bourdain thing. Anytime I'm training somebody, I do the Bourdain thing where, like, if they're being messy, I slam my hand down on their cutting board in a dramatic fashion, and then I'll lift my hand and show them covered in debris, and they'll be like, "Oh my dear God." And I'll look at them, I'll be like, "This is what the inside of your head looks like right now." And then I'll tell them the story about how I read that in the Anthony Bourdain book, and we'll all have a good laugh. But I'll be like, in all seriousness, it's probably better that we just keep things clean.
Onion, love using minced onion in this recipe, and you want a lot of it because we are making French onion burgers. Yep, I'm taking some onion powder now. We want onion.
Again, he's doing too much. You don't need both of those. They don't magically, like, rehydrate and turn into onions, nor do they add some, like, special thing. Stream Elements is shutting down. What? But that's what I use. How am I gonna multi-stream now? That's some bullshit, man.
On onion, and then I will kind of add a little bit of a flair, you know, this typical everyday Kinder's.
All these guys are aiming for a goddamn Kinder's sponsorship, I can tell you that much. Well, I mean, let's be fair. I think Streamlabs kind of sucks. I don't like, cause it's my stream integrity has been really shitty lately. And maybe they're, like, located on the East Coast, so, like, the servers are a bit more central to people over there, so they weren't noticing any problems. But, like, I don't know. It wasn't handling my signal very well. And I can stream raw to YouTube with no issues, and I can stream raw to Twitch with no issues. So it was caught up somewhere around Streamlabs, and it never really synced with, like, all of my accounts. So, like, I couldn't really keep track of a lot. But it had a good chat bot, it had a good alert system and stuff, and it has the OBS thing, so I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do now. I'm probably just gonna stream to YouTube, I guess. I don't know. I like multi-streaming. Something to think about.
This is garlic. This is garlic powder, salt, and it is some pepper in there. And oh my.
Like, if you have just a bunch of dry spices on top of something, like, you're really not doing anything. I think this is gonna go into the oven. He's just gonna be toasting spices on top of this lump of food that he's created. I don't even know if he put salt in this solution that he made.
My favorite ingredient ever, sour yaju.
Yaju, heavy cream, and sour cream. That's all. He didn't put any salt in there at all. So no salt on the French onion dip or French onion soup. No salt on the hamburger patties. No salt on this cream sauce that he's using. Okay, so he sprinkled garlic salt on the top then.
Because we are making French
onion powder, granulated onion, regular onion.
I'm taking some onion powder now. Onion, and then I will kind of add a little bit of a flair. You know, this typical
the flair. That's flair. That's you know, he's really kicking it up a notch.
Kinder's. This is garlic. This is garlic powder.
See what I said? Like, when we started this, I was like, I don't think that it's going to be purposeful rage bait, but I think I'm probably going to get mad anyway.
Salt, and it is some pepper in there, and oh my gosh, that looks absolutely fantastic. Now,
I'm sure it smells great, and I'm sure that once everything's all mixed in together, it'll probably taste really good, especially after it sits for a while. Because even if you don't, like, toast the herbs or whatever. You don't always have to do that, but as it sits, it'll infuse more flavor out of whatever it is that you've sprinkled on the top haphazardly. That's why stews always taste better the day afterwards. The flavors have a chance to marry and get all together and shit.
On top of all this goodness, I'm gonna come in with a
Oh, dear
cheddar
God.
Gruyere.
Cheddar Gruyere? I'm pretty sure that's not a thing. Gruyere is a Swiss cheese. It is not anything related to a cheddar. It's made in a sort of similar fashion. But I think Gruyere is a younger cheese by far than cheddars are. I mean, if it's a real cheddar, it has to have aged in a cave for a while. Yeah. And then a Gruyere is like a young cheese. That's just like it's not a washed rind, but it's like a quick like a normally like quick processed cheese. So yeah, I don't think that was rage bait, but I did get mad watching it. Not mad, just let down. You shouldn't have done so much. That's money in the toilet. Like, you're really just throwing money away at that point. Part of being a good home chef, just like part of being a regular chef, is being cost conscious. And if your food cost is exceeding your fucking cost, like your income, then you know, maybe consider spending less money. When I make French onion soup, I use red onions, Vidalia onions, yellow onions, and shallots. I mean, my logic applies there too. I don't, you know, my opinion is not the be-all, end-all, but I personally wouldn't be using different types of onions. You can, if you can. I just don't feel like I'm gonna recognize the differences between the onions. You may taste the difference, but I don't feel like I'm gonna. If I make French onions, and I make one of the best French onion soups that you will ever taste in your entire life. I've been perfecting the recipe for over 30 years at this point. And I just buy like a whole bag of onions, and I just use that. But I make it different. Like I make it differently than a lot of people do. But it does affect the flavor. I can imagine that, like, overall the flavor profile would be different than just using one type of onion. So I feel you there. But yeah, I feel like I wouldn't, like, part of my, I don't know if I've ever explained this. I might have when I was a little drunk doing the Thanksgiving dinner. I love talking about my philosophy with food. But like, I went to school for food. And I got all these ideas. Spring onions, spring river onions. Yes, I love those things. Deep fried ramps. But like, I love the ingredient that is like the main star of everything. Like, I go from learning to cook, to cooking commercially, to cooking privately, to doing all these different things, and then like going on to like running restaurants, telling people how to run restaurants, telling people how to save failing restaurants, all these kinds of things. And throughout it all, like my tastes have been kind of just changing. Like the way that I like to cook, the way that I like to teach people to cook, the way that I like to learn how to cook, been changing that entire time. And the thing that stays constant through the whole entire thing is just my focus on wanting to really promote the one thing that's at the center of everything. And I know that it's some philosophical platitude bullshit, but no, what I mean is that, for instance, French onion soup. When I make French onion soup, I get a whole bag of onions, and I will set aside half of them, and I will I'll take some of them and I'll like make an onion like mash, like mush, I'll puree them, and I'll use that to flavor the stock. And I'll use like really good marrow bones, and I'll roast them hard, and I'll use like just the smallest amount of tomato paste, just so that there's a good base. But I won't do shit else. Lots of bay leaves, but like shit else to it. And I'll reduce it and reduce it and reduce it and reduce it and reduce it until it's a fucking monogram, like a demi of a demi of a demi. And then I will take that and I'll set it aside, like freeze it for cubes, yada yada yada. But what I'll do is I'll take that and I'll take the other onions and I'll roast, like I'll pan roast them slowly with a cartouche on top, a little bit of weights, and just make a fucking onion jam out of them, so that they're essentially what? No, I'm not. It says I'm it says I got a copyright. The heads up, we detected video in your stream belonging to somebody else. No, it's not. There is no footage that belongs to somebody else. Look, there we go. I'll put that up for you, YouTube. And then I'll take the sorry, I'm trying to reorganize my windows here. Then I'll take another like portion of the onions, like a big old handful, and I'll reduce and reduce and reduce and reduce, make onion jam out of that. And then I'll take some of the rest of the fresh onions and saute all those in, but only sweat them this time. And then I'll take the nice hearty broth that I made, like it's onion on onion on onion on onion on onion. And it's because I just want to, like a French onion soup, I want it to be fucking oniony. I want it to taste like fucking onions. I don't know what France tastes like, but I want it to taste like France too. I just don't know how to reproduce that. Maybe one day. But, you know, French onion soup. But yeah, French onion soup with ramps sounds good. But I'd want to do the same thing, you know, I'd want to get like a big old giant container of ramps and then make that into like a nice hearty soup and just like fill the fucking pot, just boom, boom, boom with ramps, you know, because they look pretty too, you know, they got the nice green tails on them, you know, and the leaves are great deep fried, great in a pasta, you know. Oh, it was because of Freebird, pretty sure. Pretty sure. I was trying to figure out what had caused that copyright thing. Well, triggered the copyright.
Okay, got my ground beef in my 12-cup muffin pan. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some onions.
I'm gonna say already no. Why doesn't anybody season anything anymore? You know? Salt is okay. We are so used to things that have such high sodium levels that maybe, and you know, smoking used to be so prolific, so people's taste buds are still recovering. COVID eliminated a lot of people's taste. You know, you had a lot of things that affect our taste collectively as human beings, which I can excuse for the poor reception to seasoning, but holy fuck, just put some salt in something. Salt will not kill you, only in large amounts. But as long as you're balancing everything else and you're being healthy otherwise, it should be fine. You can have a little salt in your fucking diet. Just season things. Just a little. Like every layer of it. You know, like you can season take the ragu, put it on some fucking dry pasta, don't put it in the pan, don't put a little bit of butter, don't put a little bit of pasta water, commit every sin that you could possibly commit against pasta, but at least salt the water, you know, and at least like try and salt the sauce a little bit, you know, just a little bit, you know, you can take basic flavor into the stratosphere if you just add a little bit of salt. Just a little bit of salt. Hell, when I made French onion soup, I made it, took a long time, made it to make it and stuff and reduce it a lot, but I still had MSG. There's nothing wrong with adding a little bit of MSG. I mean, we've got Wegovy, right? We've got all those, is it Wegovy? What's the one that helps you lose weight? It's like the anti-MSG.
I'm gonna sprinkle it right on top of that ground beef. That's just gonna caramelize nice.
Oh, and I like how she didn't even cut the onion herself. The onion is a pre-chopped onion because it's like you can see the label from the store. That is a level of lazy that I just will not accept. I don't think that anybody on earth is too busy to make themselves food. Don't care about your excuses. Don't give a shit. You can prep onions in the car on stuck in traffic. I don't give a fuck. But I do not accept the excuse that a person could be too busy to cook, let alone being too busy to cut a fucking onion. Get a fucking chopper thing. Get one of those shitty chopper things that they sell on TV. Just get one of those. It's not that hard to stand there and go whack, whack, whack. It's an onion. It's not fucking Tut's tomb. It's not some like untouchable artifact that's gonna like turn you into a skeleton. You can touch it. You can grab an onion from the store. You can be like, hey, look, here's an onion, and take a shitty thrift store knife and just whack through it. Endure the tears. You can do it. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. It's barely time consuming. And the more you practice at something, see, this is hard for people who become adults who don't have like the support network or the education that like a stable family can give them. That's what they don't realize, is that in order to learn stuff, you got to step outside your comfort zone. You got to do things you've never done before. You got to take risks, and you got to take a little bit of pain every now and again. You know, you got to if you want to learn that 1-inch punch, you got to really get those bloody knuckles, you know? Just do it. Nike. Even my mom, well, I don't necessarily agree, but some older people really do have a hard time doing that stuff. Chopping? Well, yeah, I mean, but, you know, a lot of those but I'm not talking about old people. Old people usually get support some other way. I'm talking about this person, a young person. Even my mom can't really chop stuff well because she lost most strength in her hands. Okay, we're not trying to get into a downer discussion, okay? Jesus, cynical. I'm sorry to hear about that. But this person could absolutely chop an onion.
With that ground beef and be so delicious. I'm making something that's
Clearly no arthritis, right?
super easy for dinner. Kids love it and it tastes amazing. And if you don't like onions, you could do garlic.
You can use both. Onions and garlic go hand in hand really nicely. But also, like, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that having kids kind of forces you to have time to cook, right? Because you have to take care of your kids, and there's some downtime when it comes to the kids just being kids, even though you still have to like keep an eye out. But that means that you might have time for other things, like you can multitask, where you won't have to necessarily look away. If you live in one of those like big suburban tract homes, then you're probably looking at an island kitchen top. Maybe you got a nice view of your suburban backyard with like nothing on the horizon except for desert. And like maybe some foothills off in the distance. And like you can see little Braden and Tammy Joe playing in the backyard. You can see them playing on the jungle gym that you stole from the trailer park that you used to live in. And you know, you can see all that stuff, right? And your husband, Braden Lee Sr., who owns his own plumbing van that he calls a company, he's out, he's doing his work thing, and he's drinking with the guys at the bar, and he's gonna come home and he's gonna like help you out with the rest of dinner. Like, you got a good life so far. You got a decent life. Things are lining up okay, right? You're pulling in 6 figures combined. You got a little bit of an inheritance coming in from a rich uncle who doesn't really talk to the rest of your family anymore because you guys kind of an offshoot of a black sheep. I don't know why we're going so deep into this person's history here. The whole entire point was, I think you've got some time to cook. You know? And cooking's therapeutic sometimes too, and you can get the kids involved. Tammy, Joe, and Braden. You know? That's a happy family right there. That's solid. You know? Solid as a rock. Alright? You heard it here first.
You could do bacon, whatever you
You don't have to substitute any of those things. Do garlic, onions, and bacon. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I would happily take onions, garlic, and bacon. Don't stop teasing me. Just do the things. Put it all together. Don't do one or the other. Put them all together. They taste great together.
like, but I want wanted some onions on mine today.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
You took a very long time to
Then
explain
I'm gonna
that.
go ahead and grab some pepper, and I'm gonna season this whole dish.
So far, so good. I mean, I don't approve of the cooking method, but I can't argue with the flavors.
Okay. One more seasoning. I have some garlic salt here, because who doesn't love garlic salt?
Okay, so I mean, yeah, you're not putting garlic on it, but I think adding garlic salt is fine, because at least you're seasoning it, and there's a little bit of garlic there. Not a fan of pre-ground black pepper, but I do buy white pepper that way. Yeah, I have like... I got like a whole drawer of various pepper mills and grinders and... like the crank... I have the crank grinders and the swivel grinders and the... I don't think I have any electric grinders. I never really had an electric grinder that I liked or that lasted very long. So I think I'm more a fan of just getting like you know, just like the basic those restaurant grinders. Like you know, I go to like restaurant supply stores and you can get like vegetable peelers, speed peelers that are like the horizontal peelers that are like super easy to use for like 99 cents. And like those kind of places too, you can also get the pepper mills that are like $3, and you can like you can set the grind and everything. And coffee grinders too, like you can get those at the thrift stores, and you can just kind of smell inside and you can tell what they've been using. And if there's no smell at all, then it's all good. Maybe they were just doing drugs in there, and so you can then just like use that for pepper too. I think they used to have, like at places like Target and Bed Bath & Beyond, they used to have some pretty sophisticated electric ones, but they were always way too slow, and they always ground it like way too fine. I don't like my pepper as like a fucking powder. You know, I like to get a little pepper in my teeth, you know?
Oh yeah, that garlic salt smells amazing.
I'm the sort of person who either goes bargain basement or insanely high end. Like, I only really like, I would say like ristretto espresso, but like specifically Sumatran ristretto espresso or Guatemalan. And I only like it from certain machines. And so if I can find a really good like single double shot of a particularly good espresso, and someone can give me enough information on it, then I can be a fancy coffee guy. But I know that that's not something that I'm ever going to be able to get like reliably unless I have a machine myself. And so instead what I do is I have instant Folgers. At least it's not like Bustelo. At least I'm not drinking bodega coffee. But it's pretty fucking close. It's the best part of waking up. You know? Yeah? You getting your lammy? Get it! Yeah, man, I don't even do beans. I had one of those. I had a really good burr blender for a while, and then I stopped using it and it got all gunky. And then I was just like, yeah, I'll just get instant. I keep telling myself I'm gonna go back to whole bean. And it just never happens. It's a good blender, man. It's one of those Cuisinarts that's adjustable, and it has like 24 adjustments for grind. So good, so good. So I'm getting 0 viewers here on the YouTube, and I was just gonna stream for a little bit, but I did want to tell you about. I told you guys about the gamble game that's like Lethal Company, but it's about gambling. I think I posted that in the CHOF cough server. And then did I tell you about, what is it? Supermarket. Where is it? Supermarket Together. It's that game. Supermarket Together. That's on Steam. I think it's free to play. No, it is free to play. So that's free to play. And that's a co-op game that has you working in a supermarket. It doesn't seem very quirky, but it is just working in a supermarket. but yeah, that if I knew that, you know, people I knew were gonna play that game, I would definitely buy it because it looks fun, and I like gambling. I'm a gambling head, and I don't think that it's like traditional gambling. I think it's mostly like wacky, chaotic fun. Because none of the stuff in the trailer looked like that at all. I think the devs have said they want to implement multiplayer. I think that's one of the most requested features anyway. They just introduced. I wanted to play that on stream, but I'm getting tired and I don't want to sit here for multiple hours trying to play a damn video game. Not that that's not what I do normally, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, I think that was one of the most requested features. But also they just implemented the tape repair deck, or the tape repair station, which my wife was starting to do that for a while because some of her tapes were getting mold, and so she had to like do tape transplants, and so she was learning how to like take them apart and repair them and stuff. And I always thought that looked really cool, and I guess that's one of the features that's in the game now. So I'm gonna play that on stream tomorrow before we do our thing, if we're doing our thing tomorrow. But like, I'm gonna play some of that Rental Rewind. I want to try and figure out that tape repair thing. I think that would be fun. Yeah. I mean, because VHSs are bulky, right? Like they're fun to work on. It's fun like to have something to like get your hands on and like get the screwdrivers, and you're like, yeah, you know, like we're gonna like really. I got a couple of screws here. I got this thing that I gotta like, you know, there's some tape here, and there's like these inner workings and stuff. It's cool shit. Used to be a projectionist. Hell yeah. Yeah, I know that even as recently as like 20, 30 years ago, there were people who were still working in projection booths who were actually like doing like the theater edits of the movies. So they were like doing, it's like, you know, in the, I think Last Action Hero, and then because I always remember the scenes where the projectionist is like I think he's splicing a movie or something, and then in Fight Club where Tyler Durden is like splicing the stuff together specifically, that's like they would handle that for their theaters. He's the reason I have a Fellowship of the Ring trailer as a cut of the film. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. And then Sunday, I don't know if I'm streaming Sunday because I want to try and stream as much this week, as much of this weekend as possible, just so I can just like stay occupied, because it's gonna be raining and it's gonna be like shitty. I'm gonna try and take the dogs out, but I really just don't want to be putting around here doing nothing. I want to like try and make this weekend productive a little bit. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of editing, but yeah, that's all. Alright, I'm gonna unwind and I'm gonna go to bed. Maybe I'm gonna smoke another Bizzle of the Cannabis. But, you know, thanks for hanging out for this short little stream. It was a fun day. I've been having a lot of fun lately streaming because the audience has been growing. We've been saying hello to a lot of different new people, and these people have come back. You know, days after they started. You know, we've been turning enemies into friends and frenemies into enemies, and I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying most of the time. Anywho, have a good one. Yeah, good to see you too, Cynical. See you tomorrow, probably. I assume. That is my current assumption, unless something comes up. But yeah. Later.